Hey guys, we are doing the color
green.
Green. We are doing green now. All right, so green. When we talk about green, we see green as a color of life. In fact, a lot of us will see, or even finances, right? Prosperity, life, success. But in a negative connotation, it can reflect greed and green with envy, maybe jealousy. And so and we see that because when we see generally, a lot of times people have, if they see a person successful or are full of life, or see the opposite of that is being jealous of someone with that, or being envious, or green with envy. And so those are the colors when we talk about green, the positive and the negative. And so we want to pay attention in our dreams when we have colors in there. Okay, so you have a dream for us. You ready?
It's my friend's dream.
Friend's dream. Okay, friend's dream.
She said, I had a dream that a guy that I grew up with, who was a good friend, put a snake in my bed like a practical joke. And when I went to get in bed, I saw something moving, and I demanded that he take it out. He went to get it, and it was gone. And we looked up, and it started climbing through the vent in the ceiling. And he pulled it out, and it was a long, lime green, bright snake. He threw it at me. I wasn't really afraid, but it was big and weighty, and it startled me. It was creepy to me. Just that I knew it wasn't poisonous and it wasn't going to kill me. I just wanted it off of me, so I wrestled it off. It really caught me off guard. And when I woke up, I was in a lot of pain in the middle of my back.
Okay. Well, good. Okay, so when we try to anchor down this dream, we want to say, okay, where is the dreamer in this dream? And she's in her bed. Right? And so a bed can represent intimate things, because not many people are in your bed, or shouldn't be in your bed. So who's in your bed? It's usually your spouse, or maybe your best friends kicked back in your bed. But generally, the general public should not be in your bed, right? So beds represent intimate relationships, or relationship with God, or very close relationships. So we're talking about just intimacy, closeness, right? And is she sick? Did we say that is she sick, or?
She's having issues with her throat and ears and thyroid.
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. When she had this dream?
Yes.
Okay.
In the physical, she is really
in the
dealing
physical,
with some things.
Yes, because in my world you have to tell me if it's natural.
Yes,
because
she really is not feeling
I work
well.
in 2 different dimensions.
And they can't figure out what it is.
Okay. Oh, okay. So in this case, there is a snake, and do you know who the person's name is that threw the snake?
She just said a good guy friend. She didn't.
A good guy friend. Okay, so it's
past.
Just from her past.
Not like a boyfriend.
Yeah,
just like a pal.
Just a pal from.
Can you text her and ask her?
Yeah, can you ask her the name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be great if she's still up, because it's late. So snakes can represent, remember we talked about positive aspect can represent healing, and the negative aspect can represent a demonic or attack from the enemy. And in this case, he throws the snake on her, and it gets, or she recognizes it's in bed, right? Or is it in bed first?
Yeah, he puts it in as a joke, and then she sees it moving, and then he goes to get it, but it's not there. And then it climbed through the ceiling vent, and he grabbed it and threw it to her.
Okay, so
They were standing.
she's in bed, and it is someone she knows from her past. We're going to find out if she does because we want to know about the name. The names are very important. When we dream about people, we want to look up the name, the meaning of their name, because so we know what spiritual aspect or spiritual characteristic we're dealing with, okay? And so here's the thing. All of a sudden, they're looking for the snake, right? And no one is afraid of it, right? So this is an issue that maybe there might need to be something to think upon, right? So maybe we need to heed a little bit more caution and not play with this issue. This is an issue that we're dealing with. Now, interesting, they couldn't find it, and then they see it coming out of the vent of the ceiling. Ceilings can represent thought processes, right? It's things above. And so, or it can represent, in ceilings, it can represent, a boundary. It's like a brass ceiling. It's like a limit, right? It's a limitation. But in this case, the snake is found coming through the vent. And I sense that this has to do with a thought process, that a lot of the issues she's having, and we're talking about something that's intimate, not only in her health, but even in her spiritual life, that there's someone in her life that is playing with this issue with her. And it may not be him, it's just someone that's playing with this issue with her, and that this has affected her thought process. It's something that if we were to have a snake in our bed, don't you think it would be a little bit more scary than the dreamer is taking heed to? It's not, they're not acting appropriately in the dream. And then we see that he throws the snake at her, and she wrestles with it.
And she kind of lurched back and she wrestled. Yep.
Right, she wrestles with it, and it's lime green. Now, we can't, yeah, I was looking. So green, like we talked about, green can represent life, and especially with someone who's sick, maybe concerned about, hey, what's going on. But lime green is more of a party green versus a deep green, which is a deeper issue, or a light green, which is a lighter issue. So lime green is kind of like that party green, right? Lime green is what we use in kids' rooms and stuff like that. Lime green's a kind of a fun color. And we see that she's dealing with this issue. I think the issue has to do with the thought process, that she doesn't think she thinks is harmless. And the thought process is not harmless because it's keeping her sick. It's keeping her in bed. And it's keeping her, what do you call it? Help me with the word. It's keeping her...
Immobilized?
Huh?
Immobilized?
Immobilized, that's a good one. It's keeping, she's not getting up, she's not going around the house, she's in bed. We stay in bed when we're depressed, sick. Staying in bed isn't a great thing. We sleep in bed and we want to get up. So it's keeping her immobilized. And this whole thing has to do with something that somebody has done in her past that she has gained a thought process on, and it's making her physically ill. And I think that the dream has a lot to do with, sometimes we play with thought processes because we don't realize how detrimental they can be to our well-being. And a lot of times God's saying, hey, why don't we, think about these things that are true, lovely, of good report. And then we don't think a problem by condemning, judging, criticizing, having why did he leave that out? Why did she leave that out? Can't she put that away? Why did he park the car there? She never goes and gets gas, and we think it's okay to have those thought processes when in reality, they're actually detrimental to our relationships around us. And the person from her past or good friend this issue is dealing with this person, that there is some kind of thought process that's keeping her in there. So green, and had the snake been red, brown, black, we would have been talking about something completely different. But in this case, we're talking about green can also represent a sickness. We're talking about a jealousy issue. Not so much jealousy or greed, or from jealousy of maybe a well-being, jealous of well-being. I want to, a coveting of something else. And so that's why it's green. I would ask the dreamer, hey, is there something you're not satisfied with? And it's causing you to have thought processes that are detrimental to your health and keeping you immobilized. So that is it for the color green, and we will be back later with another color.